Good evening everyone, it's Paulie. I hope you've all had a fantastic week. This evening I do apologise about the late start. I'll be completely honest, keeping up a vlog and streaming live is hard. I'm struggling to come up with content that I think that you guys will appreciate and watch and may be useful and valuable. So if you have any ideas, drop them below. Also, I will try to be a bit more punctual and keep to a more regular schedule. Also, I want to apologise about the dance battle. I haven't been as, I haven't been as regular with the posts, and I'll be completely honest, I didn't think it through when I started. I didn't realise how hard it was to learn the dance moves, find licensed music that I can then play over. It's turning out to be a headache, but I think I may have something, I may have a costume, I might be able to take this up a notch. We'll see what we can do. So this evening we're going to talk about Arduino. This is a geek segment. Parents, you may want to stay. Women, run away, unless you're interested in maybe learning electronics. Young females, this would be handy. Young adolescents, teenagers, parents with kids, this is fantastic. So Arduino is a small electronics board which allows kids and I guess other enthusiasts to not only learn coding but I guess prototype and have fun with electronics. This evening we're going to run through the basics of the Arduino board and hopefully type up a couple of, put in a couple of sketches as they're called, and see if we can get something happening. So thank you once again for watching, and leave your comments below. I hope you enjoy this evening's stream. Now Arduino, a small open source programmable circuit board. These are quite cheap. You can get generic models for as cheap as $13 to the authentic Arduino boards, which I recommend, which are about $30. And starting with a board, you can, a couple of cool little electronics things, you can start to learn coding and I guess develop your further skills in computers and coding and even electronics. There are so many different industries that have skills that these boards can be based from, in the sense of whether it's electronics as mentioned before, or something that I've done recently, included 3D printing with them so that they combine, and you may have seen some of my 3D printed Arduino projects online. One in the background just here is a tilt and pan camera mount for a GoPro camera, and I'm just assembling it there. So you can see the servos, the 3D printed components, and I put them together to move a camera, and now you can see a test of the unit. So it can be used for anything. Now there's a whole bunch of breakout boards, as they're called. Sensors, wearable Arduino, so you can build devices and electronics that you can wear. There's also a range of really cool home automation breakout boards, so you can sort of start to home automate your home if you wanted to. Any sort of project you can think of, these are a perfect way to get into it and get started. And especially for parents, I recommend this for parents. It's great for kids, cheap, they can't really do too much damage, and the time that they spend on the computer with this, you can maybe give them a hand, join in, learn a thing or two. Otherwise, they'll have hours of fun with this. So we're going to get straight into it. This is the basic board here, and all we're going to do now is we're just going to plug it into the USB power, and there we go. So that's got power. Now you'll notice straight away there's some lights flashing there, the green light. So what we've uploaded is a sketch. Oh, and by the way, for resources online, when I say coding, it starts with simply just copy and paste, and that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to copy and paste some code in. Once you get used to that and understanding what you're doing, then you can start to, I guess, develop it and create your own code. But really, you don't need to do much for a long time. There are so many online resources that you will be swamped with ideas of what you could do with this. Just quickly, the Arduino homepage is in the background there, but we're going to plug that in. We're going to start the Arduino software, and we're going to have these two lights blink. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to look for two lights to blink at once. I googled that previously, and that's the first result that came up. Now what looks like a bunch of gobbledygook, that code there, let me just press that copy code. Okay, we've copied it, should say we've copied. Cool. We're going to go to the editor, and we're just going to write over that code, paste it in, and see now it's filled with lots of matrix code stuff that people would say. Now before we upload that sketch to the Arduino, we're just going to verify it, which is up there, and that's going to check that everything in our code's okay. This is a new sketch, so we're going to call it blink, and we'll wait for that to verify and compile, and there don't seem to be any errors. So what we'll do is we'll now upload that, and as I do that you should be able to see the LEDs in front of me, which aren't currently flashing, start to flash. So, and there we go, we've got the LEDs flashing. So as you can see, that took less than 5 minutes, and we had some code that we found online, and we've entered that in, and now we've got both LEDs flashing. So we're going to now switch to something a little bit more complicated, and we're going to actually try and get this servo running. Now you'll notice it's got a claw on it. I 3D printed that, that's part of another project, and we're going to use the cabling I've already prepared, and we won't worry about taking out the cabling that's already in there. We'll just plug this in. So we want a ground there. So we're just putting in the power now. That's going to go into the 5-volt power slot and share it. Oh, we've got something happening with the servo there. One sec, we'll put that in front so you can see what's happening. There we go. So as soon as I plug this in, you'll see it gets a response, but it hasn't got its control yet. So there's 3 wires coming out of the servo. One is positive, one is the negative power, and the other one is the controlling flow, or the one that receives the code and then tells it to power up this other wire, this other signal. Okay, so I'll just plug it in. All these kits are pretty cheap, all these extras are cheap. There's servos, motors, you can make remote control parts and whatnot. Now I think we're going to put this in number 9. And there we go. So we've now got our servo connected, and we'll try and get some movement out of that. And for that we're just going to open up another, where are we, another sketch. So I think I've already got this one saved. Open recent, sweep, yep, I've got it saved. So we'll pop that on the full screen and we'll just show you what we're doing there. So there we go, we've already got the code. Now it sort of tells us what we need to do. So we need to put the number 9 into the servo object, and that's the controlling one, of course the positive and the negative. It's going to wait 15 milliseconds for it to reach one position and then start sweeping back at 180 degrees. So we can change that to 90 or quicker or slower depending on what our requirements are, and of course we can put in a controller like a dial or a button or something like that. So we're now going to compile, actually we'll just verify that and I'll show you that as it happens. So it's verifying, there's no errors in the code, it's compiled. Now we're going to upload it, and so you can see the claw working. We'll just put you back there, and as we upload it we should see the claw. There we go, so we've got a claw working. So as you can see, in 10 minutes we've got 2 projects knocked out of the way, and all this kit here I've bought online from eBay. Please support, this was done a long time ago, please support Australian retailers. It was purchased I think for a $30 kit. I got the basic kit, so you get, you know, loads of resistors, there we have a bunch of resistors and other parts, LEDs, motors, servos, all sorts of things. So once again, if you're interested in electronics, the Arduino is a great kit to get started. If you want to upgrade from this, maybe a Raspberry Pi, I've had some fun with those as well, but even for parents, your kids have got some spare time during the holidays, the Arduino is a great project for them to get into and get their teeth into, and they're learning valuable skills and hopefully having fun at the same time. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope I didn't tire any of you out and it wasn't too geeky, but parents, once again as mentioned, this is a great inexpensive way to get kids into electronics and coding, or at least interested in sciences and computers, and it gets them a lot more familiar, and I guess furthermore they can really start to experiment and use their imagination. There's a lot of resources online, as mentioned. Everything will be below in the description section of this video. As always, be kind, be happy, and continue being awesome, everyone. Peace out.